What is going on, my thriller troopers? It's ya boy ThrillerNothere here, and today we are going to be talking about assertion fandom within the game, which is Genshin Impact. Yeah, you know the game who copied Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yes, totally. We know that the fact that Ether is Pit, but later in the story he carries on as Link from The Legend of Zelda. Anyways, aside from those comparing to Zelda jokes, I'm conformed trolling. Anyways, about Genshin Impact, throughout the game I usually venture throughout this mysterious world, which looks like the world Zelda, but it's a Chinese game, so yeah, totally inspired by Breath of the Wild's open world type game. Totally hope you're not trying to copy anything from Zelda's precious beauty, even though I'm not a Zelda fan, but I do believe Genshin Impact is a Breath of the Wild reskin. But the most part one worry about the game is fucking events, obviously. Why? Because I needed the characters in order to do very powerful combos, so I can beat the game in a world record speedrun. However, I have to farm in order to wish the characters that I want to obtain, but this is obviously like a spin a wheel to win type, because mostly you will get a chance for items to reward, while for the characters I believe you get a smaller chance to win one. While I know for a fact this is a gacha game, Zelda meets the world of gacha. How interesting. Like most gacha games, I can describe them as like what I've said before, a spin a wheel to win type games, where you can win virtual items. I have like a handful of characters I've obtained from wishing. I believe the game's other full parts are being under construction, so I don't know when will we get to have our very ending of the game. And no, I'm not spoiling the game nor anything, I'm just wishing for the game to be completed. Anyways, now to our next chapter of the video, which is the main one. Well, although this game has grown such a fan base despite being criticized for being a ripoff of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there were many people that are contributing to the game. I mostly see animated MMD shorts, fan art, etc. But one mostly sees that caught my attention is the shipping does actually exist. I didn't knew for a fact that fans would ship characters together. I was like, what the fuck are you guys even doing? Because seeing this type of shit inside a fandom is extremely extraordinary, because why would a fandom even ship characters that aren't even canon in their relationship? Why? I bet this is something to power their fanfiction fantasy. I bet this is probably something to ruin the entire game, but is like the sonamy to the fandom. Meet Chilumi Rant.
Jo-chan, are you asleep? Huh. I like you. What should I do, Jo-chan? I really like you. I like you. I like you so much. I like you.
Here! You can take the whole bag too. I've got a bunch of extras.
Huh? Lumine, what's this?
What is this? This ship literally has a really steaming, extraordinary and cheesy relationship. When I first saw it, this fanfiction usually puts Childerakata Tajlia and Lumine, whose real name of the female travel sibling to the male traveler Ether, despite having Mondstadt's residents call you by your nickname aka username you put in. But why exactly they are shipping? Maybe this video from a Chilumi fan answers our question. Now I believe that video made a spark for the Chilumi meme to spark up. It's from Genshin Impact edits it, literally a video showing Chilled looking at the female protagonist, but then looks away when the player switches characters. This is also one of the earliest foundings of Chilumi, but please correct me if I'm wrong, but just because he looks at a girl doesn't mean he simps for them. That's kinda like saying Godzilla looks at Mothra because she's a girl and the G-man looks at her and they should get married. Well, no shit, but that Godzilla x Mothra actually happened. But let's get back to the topic we are hanging on. After that video was posted, it got over 462k views in the last few months, and it later blew up. So many people were contributing to the ship. They were so many fanfiction that was made, mostly comments and some RAMV. Mostly the comics were made and were dubbed by fan voice actors and sometimes text to speech if they can't afford one.
Speaking of people's eyes, I remember one gaze that left a particular deep impression on me. Whose gaze was that?
That would be your mother.
What the? Wait,
But obviously this is kinda of cringe to see characters that were never made to be shipped. I only prefer the canon ships instead. Fanon ships do not make a lot of sense, they are just there to power fans' imagination and it's just unpleasant or cheesy. Now for the introduction. Childraughtar Tajlia is the 11th member of the 11 Fatu Harbingers, which are the top echelons of the Fatu, plus with some other enemy factions or terrorist groups like the Abyss Order. Also he is one of the fearsome foes in the group he is in, always in the front line waiting to overcome his challenges. He also describes himself as a bad guy living for the thrill of a fight and causing chaos. And that's all I can say about him. Now for Lumine. She's just a female wandering traveler willing to save her lost brother, where she battled an unknown god who banished her lost brother away from the very start with the help with some residents that she was lost in the world of Tivat. Now why they don't match. Obviously shipping a villain allied character with the main protagonist, just because oh yeah, in the female version Child flirts for Lumine and their cheesy relationship also reminds of when Lisa and Ether have been in such romance. Also Lisa does most of the parts of flirting, but however it's just how their personalities doesn't mean they are going to be in a romantic relationship. I found Genshin Impact had some little awkward moments, only found some humorous parts, especially Payman being emergency food. But when it comes to the fandom of shipping they ruin it. I don't think it is ever right to even hook up with someone who's a member of a team of enemies. I don't think this should be ever made canon at all times. It will just screw up the entire storyline. Also a mini note there, this doesn't also apply to only Chilled and Lumine, it also applies to many other characters, especially Ether and some gay relationships. Now time for the conclusion. When it comes to becoming a part of a fandom, I would always hesitate. Anything could happen anywhere in the fandom, especially shipping characters, and many of them end up in gay relationships, which is one of the cringiest things to ever exist. Plus fanfiction, and sometimes they can have a fan base. What the fuck, did they just say fan base? Spread the Chilumi nation? Nope, not today, as we can work together to fight the toxic fandom. As of always, thanks for watching. Subscribe with the notification bell on. Follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server so we can meet up. Also stay cool, stay awesome, just like me. Ciao.
Turn it on.